Who would have thought that an OG privacy coin like ZCash suddenly doubles within a single week? We're going to look at the fundamentals. We're going to find out what's behind this rally, how much longer this rally can last. We're going to look at the on-chain data, the data most people do not consider. Now, interestingly enough, we don't find any real significant news around this rally. There's a tweet by Naval that's pushing ZCash as an insurance against Bitcoin. But really, I don't think that this can justify that the price 3x's within just a single month. We came from $4 all the way to $121. Now, it's important to know that the recent rally in ZCash is not typical for the asset. The asset tended to underperform most other cryptocurrencies most of the time, and the reason for that was tokenomics. What we see here is the ZCash price relative to the others market cap. So the market cap of all altcoins that are not in the top 10. And really, the long-term price performance wasn't that great relative to the rest. But recently, there is a sudden recovery from the top in June of 2019 to the bottom in April of 2024. ZCash underperformed other cryptocurrencies by almost 99%. And again, that was due to tokenomics. Zcash does have a maximum supply of 21 million, the same as Bitcoin, but the inflation rate was much higher. We did see a drop of that inflation rate though, and now we are at 3.4% annualized. Bitcoin is at 0.85%. Now let's have a look at the on-chain metrics, because there is a ported version of Zcash on the Binance Smart Chain. There are almost 12,000 holders of the token on the Binance Smart Chain. Now here's the number of small retail investors on the left, medium-sized investors in the middle, and large whales on the right. To be counted for the chart on the left, a wallet has to hold at least 10 ZEC tokens. At the current price, that's $1,200. To be counted for the chart in the middle, it's 100 tokens, so $12,000. For the chart on the right, it's 1,000 tokens or $120,000 worth of the token. We can see how the number of retail investors grew up until May of 2024. And since then, the number of retail investors went down. The same can be said for the medium-sized investors with around $10,000. And the number of whales wasn't really high on the Binance Smart Chain. Probably the big money bought directly on the centralized exchanges. Now, call me a conspiracy theorist, but I've got the impression that the market always goes the way of most pain. As in, once the retail investor stopped buying Zcash, that's when the market makers started to manipulate the price to the upside. Because let's have a look at that data point, May of 2024, the relative valuation to Bitcoin. It's over here. Once retail stopped buying, suddenly the market makers started to accumulate and now push up the price. This is where the relative valuation stabilized. Now, most of the price discovery though does not happen on the spot market anymore, especially not on the Binance Smart Chain. Because have a look at the spot trading volume in the last 24 hours. We've got 232 million on Binance. But compare this with the perpetual futures trading volume. Here we had 1.1 billion. So in other words, there's more than 5 times the trading volume on the levered bets on the price. And so really what's fundamentally going on here is that some people just bet on the price with leverage on the derivatives market, and thus through arbitrage bots we also see the spot market following. This is short-term capital entering the asset. And that short-term capital might exit very soon as well. Here's the funding rate of Zcash over time. It tends to be mainly positive, but when prices are elevated, then the perpetual futures traders are betting on falling prices. And they tended to make money with that. But this time, it truly looks like this was a short squeeze because many shorts did get liquidated with the recent rally. We have seen 4.2 million worth of Zcash bets getting liquidated on the short side yesterday alone. The daily trading volume on the perpetual futures have hit a new all-time high. And I think there's a very high chance that Zcash will come back down again, because now the open interest on the asset is at an historical high, and in prior bull runs we tended to revert again. And there is a lot of correlation between the open interest, so the bets on the price, versus the spot price development. So the open interest is in green. This is how many bets are currently made on Zcash across exchanges. And in yellow we see the Zcash price. So as there's more bets on the price, the spot price price tends to follow as well. As the bets on the price decline when open interest comes down again, then the spot price tends to follow that as well. And since we are now very, very high on open interest, there's a very good chance that this deflates again and brings the price of ZCash with it. Yes, the token isn't as inflationary anymore. And yes, the long-term underperformance versus the other altcoins is probably not that sustainable anymore. But the current price very much looks like short-term inflated. It very much looks like we can turn around and see another reversal of that current short squeeze as we have seen several times in the past. By the way, my preferred approach to outperform this market is to bet on falling prices of altcoins that still have a high token inflation. That's not necessarily true for ZCash, but it is true for many other cryptocurrencies. And because of that, I outperformed dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin quite a bit. This is a monthly chart, so this is roughly 4 years of data. And had I just the dollar cost average into Bitcoin, I would have gotten this line here in gray. But because I also bet on falling prices of altcoins, I got the performance here in black. I've made several tutorial videos on the topic. The two most important ones are over here, using perpetual futures to bet on relative valuations and risk management with relative valuation bets. Once you've watched those two videos, I will share my favorite trade with you. And that favorite trade tends to perform quite consistently. If you don't make money after 1 month of holding the position that I will share with you, then I'll refund the membership fees for you, no questions asked. So it's currently $125 per month. You can watch all the tutorials, you can see all the trades that I make in real time. And again, if you don't make money with that first trade that I will share with you, you don't even have to pay that $125. A link to Premium should pop up directly here on the screen. Feel free to click on that. It will lead you directly to the website. If it's the very first time here, feel free to subscribe. I publish here regularly. A like would be very much appreciated as well. It helps the channel grow. See you next time on YouTube or see you in Premium. Cheers.